Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. Microsoft Copilot Studio, Episode 8 of 15. Sometimes you do not need to build a complex API or integrate an external parsing service to process incoming data. You just need a large language model to look at a messy string of text and process it exactly the way you want. That is where prompt tools come in. First, we need to clear up a common point of confusion. Prompt tools are completely different from generative answers. Generative answers scan an external knowledge base or a website to answer user questions dynamically. Prompt tools do not search for answers. They are specific, heavily engineered instructions that tell a large language model to execute a strictly defined task on data you provide. Think of a prompt tool as a reusable function where the underlying logic is written in natural language instead of code. You build it by defining a prompt template, specifying input variables, and providing strict contextual rules. Consider a common scenario. You receive a block of unstructured, rambling customer feedback. You want to extract the underlying sentiment and generate a clean list of specific action items. Instead of writing complex regular expressions or a custom parsing script, you create a prompt tool. You start by defining the inputs. In Copilot Studio, you create an input variable called feedback text and set its data type. This simple step tells the tool to expect a dynamic string every time it is invoked by the system. Next, you write the prompt template. This is the core instruction set sent to the large language model. You write out precisely what the model must do. You instruct it to read the feedback text variable, determine if the tone is positive, negative, or neutral, and identify any tasks the customer support team needs to handle based on the text. Here's the key insight. The template is practically useless without strict context. You do not just ask the model for sentiment and hope it replies nicely. You define the exact output structure within the prompt context. You explicitly instruct the model to return the result formatted as a strict JSON object containing a sentiment key and an action items array. You forbid conversational filler. This context transforms a generic chatty language model response into a predictable structured data payload that your downstream systems can actually parse. When your agent triggers this tool during a live conversation, the execution flow is entirely automated. The agent takes the live customer response and passes it into your feedback text input. The tool dynamically injects that string into your template, sends the complete instructional package to the model, and hands back the structured JSON. The agent can then use those extracted action items to automatically update a database or route the user to a specialized support queue. You define the tool once, and the agent calls it automatically whenever it recognizes the need to process unstructured text. A well-engineered prompt tool shifts the burden of complex text processing away from your application code and onto the large language model, letting you extract perfectly structured data from complete chaos using nothing but a few lines of plain English. That's all for this one. Thanks for listening, and keep building.